Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome today is October 17th. This is the meeting on the golf commission.
We stand for the pledge of allegiance. Move your hats, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
All right, so we will have a call to order. Well, everybody's here. All commissioners are present except for Commissioner Green and Mark Mayran. So we can leave it at that. Fair enough? Good. Well, it is the citizens, we have none. So we can kind of get into things. Approval of minutes. And has everybody received a copy of the minutes?
Yes.
Very good. Has everybody read through the minutes? Does anybody have any issues with the minutes? No. So can I have somebody recommend approval of the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Tony, second. Very good, Nancy. All in favor? Aye.
Gail
Yes.
was abstaining.
Yeah, thanks very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. I wasn't here.
Okay, that's unanimous approval. All right. Okay, old business. The Timberland tree, rustic tree. I'm not sure what's going on there, but okay, Sal?
One of our previous meetings, we said that, the tree that we relocated around the 16, 17 feet
Sure.
was gonna be a Timberland tree,
The giving tree or whatever. Yeah,
where
okay.
people could donate around it.
Yep,
I guess there was conversation in past months that tree was actually gonna be, it put the name of John Rustic. So
okay, hold on.
the,
Hold on one second, let's talk about, it is 6:02, Commissioner Green is here. Okay, go ahead, so it was. That was an option, who paid for the moving of the tree? Who paid to move the tree? I mean, it was how much to move the tree?
we paid for it, I think, how much was it to move?
2,500,
Yeah.
3,500 in that area, right?
We moved it in the time when the high school sign.
That's correct, so the high school sign was moved and the course paid to move that tree, correct?
Mhm.
So what,
How did it?
how did it become John's tree?
I think in one of our meetings earlier this year, we were looking, when we were making the donation packet. There were conversations of the Rustic family donating something or let it be a tree or a bench at that time.
Okay,
I don't think it was ever said to me or brought up in any of our meetings that the actual tree was going to be
John's tree,
John's tree,
okay.
but Chris, Lisa was under that impression. So
And how did she get that impression?
when I put that email out soliciting if, hey, we're gonna do this Timberland tree, if you're interested, let me know. Mark and Lisa thought that it was already,
Did they pay for the moving of the tree?
no,
No, okay, did Lisa pay for a tree?
nothing,
Okay,
So why, I think that.
they're ready to,
they wanted to pay
Yeah.
$2,500 to move that tree?
the tree's already moved.
I don't, well,
But they
that
can
doesn't matter,
that
the
amount.
town paid for that amount, right? The town paid for the move, $2,500 to move that tree, or 35, 3,000, whatever it
Let
was.
them know that they have to pay for the removal of the tree and then the pump as well.
That's, yeah, I mean,
Okay,
if that's,
I'll let them know.
I mean, if that's what we're gonna do, I mean,
Or,
And another
or
tree.
do they want to do something?
They like the tree.
they like that tree.
I was wondering if they wanted to do something at the tree, like a plaque and a
They were
bench or
gonna get a
something.
flag,
They're just
probably
gonna get a
similar
plaque.
to the flag that you have at the clock.
Plaque.
They already have the wordings or the dialogue ready. It's probably gonna cost maybe just a little under because it's not as many words or.
So were we gonna move the tree anyways, without?
Because of the high school sign.
Right.
Yeah, but the question is, where are we gonna save, I mean, Sal and I had this discussion too, where are we gonna save the tree or just chop it down, right? I mean, let's just lay it out there, right? And,
It's definitely being safe.
well, I wanted to chop it down, because,
Yeah.
you know,
We couldn't
We
believe
had the right decision if people like it where it is.
Absolutely,
okay.
but I don't think at that time.
I'm not sure why we're going back to
No,
No, but I-
I'm just,
when it was, we decided to, we're gonna save it.
It had nothing to do with John Russell.
Exactly.
So I personally don't feel that,
I think that should be the Timberland.
that,
and you can put a plaque up there.
yeah,
Right.
if they wanna put a plaque, I don't, and cause like, but one of the things we talked about is that in the future, if people wanted to do things up there, they potentially, if they donate, if as people donated more money, you might be able to, you know, mulch it nicer and perhaps put some cobblestones around that, or you could, and if people wanted to donate, that would be kind of an area that would be we talked about it being kind of a memorial hill, if you will.
You can have more than one plaque there.
Right, a
Yeah,
giving
that would
tree.
be vision, plaques,
Plaques
different
or
plaques.
pavers.
Pavers
Yeah.
or a bench, or you could, you know,
Well, that would make more sense in doing it that way, just call the tree, if someone wants to put a plaque on the tree. Or just call it the Timberland tree, but like you said, they paid $2,500 to make this tree. Now, if she wants to come up with the money and pay for it all and do it,
We don't want to
then
do
that's
that.
different. I mean,
that,
but
I agree,
otherwise-
if she wants to pay that much,
Yeah.
well, I'm thinking,
I know there
I
was a
did too.
donation that was made. from the family. I don't know how, what is it?
yeah.
$3,000 it's their tree.
Well, I mean,
No problem.
I mean, in all fairness, any other comments on this thing, but in all fairness. Go ahead, sir.
What, yeah, how much does it cost to do a tree, say she wanted to put another tree up somewhere else? It's a tree, she don't want to.
maybe anywhere from, what do we put in our pack?
The package, yeah, it's already in
So
the
you can
package.
make that off,
The first of the pack.
you know, if she doesn't like having a plaque up there with other plaques.
I mean, in all due respect, we're trying to standardize this stuff, right? So you don't have a hodgepodge of things. It doesn't, you know what I mean? And that's where we're going with this thing. You have a methodical way of looking at things and where you're gonna place things for the future. So you're not taking them down 15 years down the road, right? I mean, it's
Right.
just maybe 20 years down, you're not chopping these things down and rehashing this thing over and over again, right? That's the whole logic behind what we're trying to do here, right? And the donation packet is now up in there, so, I mean, we paid, you know, then, say, $2,500 to $3,000 to move, to do what had to be done in order to save the tree and move it to where it is now. You know, Lisa, has she given you any money? Has she contacted you about giving you any money yet? Okay, well,
Can I make a
yeah.
suggestion?
Yes.
Could you call it the John Russell Memorial Tree for memorials of general public and, you know, that donate to the.
it's a gimmick, so why would I wanna do that? I mean, and I don't like John, don't get me wrong, and I've known John for a long time, and Lisa for a long time. But why would I wanna do that if give money, unless it's called like a Timberland giving tree memorial
Just
tree?
a gesture to, Lisa and, you know, Mark, that's all I'm thinking, you know, I don't,
But it's all already announced it as the Timberland tree.
it has been,
Mhm.
oh, okay,
oh, where was it announced?
never mind,
No, well,
It was on Instagram and social media.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that,
I
okay.
didn't even.
What, I have no skin in this, so
Yeah.
whatever.
May I
you wanna
make a
do.
recommendation, because you're the director of and you're, sounds like you're hearing about things that Lisa may or may wanna do secondhand, whatever. Reach out to Lisa and say, I understand you have some interest in having some type of memorial for John, and have a dialogue and discussion.
Absolutely,
There's no point in her giving us $2,500 and it's sitting in an account and we don't know what she wants to do with it because the tree's already moved and paid for. Find out what her interest is and talk about the fact that this committee has talked about this being a memorial area. How would you like to continue that vision?
If she wants the tree for John, are we going to move forward with that or no?
I think that.
Well, I don't know what, well, I guess you would have to ask her, what does that mean, having the tree for John?
It's gonna be just for John.
And no other plaques can go up around it, or no other benches or anything?
I think that,
I wouldn't be in favor of that.
I
no,
would,
No, I don't think so,
No.
because it's already been announced.
yeah, and they've already decided what it was gonna be.
Who controls the instrument? Who does that?
We have a marketing team that I give information to.
So you gave information. to
But
Instagram
let's-
to call
let's
it
look at it this way, it's a tree.
Okay, all right, I got it. I
It's-
just wanted
it's a
to know for
tree.
myself.
One at a time, one at a time.
We've talked about this tree in the last few meetings, the problem is we're all not here together every meeting, right? So some parts of this committee didn't hear about, what we're trying to do in the last few meetings. And, they heard about it when Instagram came on.
It's such a unique tree, and I think that everybody is like so drawn to
So-
it.
Here in this room, we'd like to see this tree to be more of a public, remember,
Yes.
Right, a memorial tree.
A memorial
I think
tree
it would
for-
look good.
For many, not just one.
I
okay?
think it would look good if it was surrounded
I
with
will,
pavers, keep down the maintenance.
Yes, I will make sure to
Yeah.
let the rest of, Lisa know, we've had this conversation and see where she was.
Maybe they want to put a
from there.
bench under the
Yeah.
Timberlake tree.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to put a bench with a plaque on it.
Yeah.
She has the option
Or
to do
a
whatever we have for the
Or one of
commission.
those big lights.
Okay.
Something.
But let's say it this way, if she wanted to, just say, so let's open the door. So if she decided she wants that tree for John, okay, and like you said, it costs $2,500, right? If she puts up the money to buy the tree or 3,000, whatever, is to buy the tree and say it's for John, do we accept it that it's,
No.
can be for John? Or is it just gonna be a memorial tree for Tim? So that's the door, that's the thing we need to make an
I
understanding.
think that's the ultimate question, right?
I can't answer. I would, again, have a conversation with Lisa. What would she like to do?
Exactly, you give her that,
Yes,
then
start
we can go
there.
from there.
I think they.
And if she doesn't want the tree for a giant, and they wanna come up with the money, then you can close the case. Open up for everybody.
All right, so just keep that as open until next time. So can you contact, can you reach out to Lisa?
I just wanna make sure when I reach out to her, this, I'm not making this like a 2-month conversation.
No.
So if they want to pay for the tree,
Well, I don't think that's even an option anymore, right?
Okay,
I mean,
so
that's
it's not-
not-
Could identify that.
The answer is
not an option.
Not an option.
Well, because you already told through Instagram that it's the Timberlake.
Right.
And she assumed that.
Far down the
where-
road.
the Mark must have, had the discussion with her.
yeah, I mean,
Mark communicated to her? I mean,
Didn't you just say, Mark
in
must
this
have-
meeting, we've asked for updates. There's times when I said I couldn't give you any updates because there weren't any updates. And then an update comes about,
No, you say that maybe there was there was a
so there are,
misunderstanding.
there's definitely a misunderstanding.
I mean, I've had this conversation with Saul, and I'll just level with you guys. I mean, he's the director of golf, right? So he's like the GM here. People below him making decisions. It has to flow through him. I mean, his is the final say, right? I mean, I think we're all in agreement with that one. It's like the CFO of a company, right? I mean, at the end of the day. So if someone, down below is making decisions saying, hey, we're gonna do this, well, without verifying it, well, that doesn't hold any weight. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just.
Well, unfortunately, 2 years in the seat, it's still happening. And, we're still trying to figure it out, so.
Well, you don't have to micromanage, but something like that, you're like, that doesn't fly, right? I mean, that's why we keep
Well,
the nation.
You get to a situation like this when it's a, he say, she said,
And he might,
There's a lot
Mark
of
might have just
miscommunication.
suggested it, and just in
You don't
passing,
know.
and it's,
They kind of,
I think she would be very understanding.
well, it falls back to a couple of things. One, you have a donation packet, right? Two is we go looking for the long-term, say, the next 3 or 4 years of types of planting, say, that was one of the reasons that I've been asking for something to that effect. So that way, if somebody does want to do something, well, here's something we're gonna do. We're gonna put a tree over here, we're gonna do something over here. Whatever it is, right? I mean, that was the impetus behind some of that stuff. So it was just, hey, I'm thinking about this because of that. No, there's a reason. That's the reason. So, and the two tie in together, the donation packet and that tie in together also. Right? So. Okay, all right. But you still have to you can still reach out to her and let her know, what the thought process is, so. All right, thank you. All right, new business. I'm not even sure, the Timberland Pro Shop, so,
That's me.
okay,
So, I'm not sure everybody's aware, but, you know, with Mark's changing his contract, which happened 2 years ago, his, first year with the new contract, he staffed Pro Shop as he usually did, but, with the split, with the town money in one coffers and his in the other, he really lost a lot of money that first year. So then, as we know, he came up year two with the vending machine and that the Pro Shop would be minimally staffed. And it would be draped with those black, as you've probably seen those black tarps, when it was a slower, time. He is staffing it on weekends and evenings, some evenings and outings or whatever. I personally, and I've heard comments from other people, including strangers in line, that when you walk in the Pro Shop, it looks like either, you know, a morgue or, you know, there's a sign up. The one weekend where he wasn't able to staff it, like they were doing renovations, but they weren't doing renovations. So you come in the next day and it looks the same, so it kind of, I don't think it's a very good customer experience. And I think that Mark did exactly what he needed to do. I do not expect Mark to run a business at a loss. He can't do that, nor should he be expected to do that. So he came up with, I think, the best solution, which we all heard about, the vending machine, and we said, we don't have any control over it anyway, it's not our business. We have no power over this. But one of the things, and that's why you all got that note from him, because I went to both Saul and told him about the concerns I was carrying, and I just don't think it's a good customer experience walking into a Pro Shop like that. And I shared it with Mark, and unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so he made those comments to share with everybody, which was good. I met with Kevin Delaney today because the other thing is, we could talk about this in this room for days, and it isn't gonna do a lot of good, because one, we don't have the power to make any changes. And we don't have the key players in the room, which is Mark, and someone representing the town. Because the town is the one who has said, we have to keep these entities separate, and you can't have town employees handling contractor money or contractors handling town money. That's kind of the bottom line. So my recommendation to Saul and to Mark, and I made it to Kevin Delaney today, is a small group of people, somebody has the town interest in mind, Saul and Mark and a representative from this committee, not necessarily the whole group, I think that's just too many people. To get together and to brainstorm, and maybe there are other options that would be a win-win, that would provide the customer a better experience, that would be financially viable for Mark and would be acceptable to the town within the perimeters and guidelines that they have to work with. Kevin said he would be willing to have that meeting. So that's my, I don't know, you know, that's my recommendation. It's, maybe it can't change, maybe, you know, this is the way it has to be, but I've always think that, you know, 2 or 3 heads are better than one. And you know, Mark had to do something, rightfully so, and he did it. And it,
Why doesn't Mark want them all covered? I mean,
because the shop is not open.
what about just having a sign that, big sign that?
See, it's Nancy, one thing about it is, you have the business. And people can walk out with your stuff,
Okay.
okay, so that's
So
what,
that's
that's what the
really
whole
what-
thing is all about. Because you don't have to staff there, people, they had some stuff that went out,
Stolen.
stolen.
Don't say what it was.
And that's all it is, so basically that's
So
it.
that's-
I mean, you could
I-
probably put, maybe the black draping is probably bad, maybe if you had a clear
Clear,
draping,
Yeah,
it might look, you can see what's there. But then again, you don't wanna see what's there, because people grab. When they
So
get the
again,
opportunity.
My recommendation, we're not gonna fix this, is to have that meeting and Kevin's willing to meet. I know Saul has been willing to, Mark is, you know, if there's another person or two
but I did.
to talk about and certainly give feedback, you know, if you have ideas to the group.
Good.
Because I think Kevin had an idea too. He says, well, maybe you have some construction where you know, maybe make it more separate, so it really does look like
So
a
there's
separate
like a
business,
separate door.
perhaps.
That's-
Again, But again,
No,
maybe there's other
The thing is,
ideas.
when you
So
come
what,
in-
why? Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, no, the thing is, when you come in, you still, while you're waiting in line, are buying what's there, so, yeah. That is it separate.
Why is it that, a contractor can't handle, cash, I mean, for the town, and vice versa? Why is that?
Because according to Kevin, if you're a town employee, you can't be working, for any other entity. And so
Okay, well-
technically, if you're, handling his funds, his business, you're working for his entity, but that's not the town. You can only work for the town if you're working for the town. The example that he gave, and it made sense what he did, was how the Friends of the Library, that's a 501c3, that's run separately. The library staff can't run the, Friends of the Library and vice versa. That's a similar.
Okay, I understand that, but this is, how can I say this? I don't know of any other golf facility that doesn't do it. Where the golf shop not only handles the golf shop, but also handles the cash. And we did it before with other pros that were in there.
Right,
So
but-
something happened, but no other golf, no, to my knowledge, Hunter, Stanley, Rockledge, they are
Stanley-
not,
Stanley are town employees.
no, they're housing employees, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they're,
There's both.
well,
There's both.
I think.
And so
they're
they work for
town
Howie,
employees.
I know they work for Howie,
Well,
so, but, again,
so why don't you
I-
do you wanna be on the committee? That would be helpful to meet with Kevin
I'll
and
be,
Mark.
I'll be one that we meet with Kevin, I mean,
Well, and Mark, and I mean,
that's fine.
I brought up the idea,
But-
but, and I don't wanna put you on the spot. I don't know all of that, but Kevin feels that the way it is set up, that's why the change had to be made.
I still don't understand why, if they're gonna compensate somebody, be an outside contractor or whatever, to handle this function, I mean,
Then, yeah, then it has to,
then
it has to be the outside
contractor doing it, right?
Right, it can't be a town employee.
Right, well, okay, whatever, it doesn't,
That's what,
he hired his own staff, somebody can hire their own staff, whoever it is, and I'll double check, tonight to see if those are the employees or not. I'll just email everybody whether they are like or not. But I know some of the staff there, the cart, people doing the cart, the kids doing the cart. I mean, those are town employees. I know that. But even in the pro shop itself, I'm not sure that those are town employees.
well, again,
Yeah, so you're
At the registry,
you've been different. Well, this is the first public course you've been at, correct? Okay.
what are your thoughts about this all? 'Cause you're there and I don't know, you see probably hear more than all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a different experience for everyone this year when you go in that golf shop,
yes,
maybe there was not enough explanation on their side. On what he was wanting to do this year, or,
but I thought he did explain it pretty well with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I understood.
I mean, you might have
Then why
new
would people
people,
keep asking?
well, because you might have new people coming in.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like,
Yeah.
one time in April doesn't take care of the whole year,
Yeah,
Yeah, no, because you have new customers coming in.
do they have any kind of a,
I mean,
do they,
No email.
maybe our desk was informing people more of what they're trying to do than their own desk.
do they have any kind of a sign that's up there that tells, or is, big enough so that
Yeah.
when people come in,
I mean,
they
we've had
see
in the
the
past where
hours?
like, golf shop this way, merchandise
Or
that
they just see
way.
the hours that they're open?
No, so maybe that's another one, so. Like I
See,
said,
that's a
maybe
good-
just enough
maybe that's a-
information,
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion, maybe hours that the pro shop is
Yeah.
staffed,
Yeah.
maybe that a signage would
So
help.
people know.
So-
I think there was a sign up for a while there, there was a sign up for a while. And pretty much that, we're only dealing with a lot of. During the week, we probably deal with outside people, most of the time on the weekend is normally people that play golf there. So they know this is the time to open.
but we're open on the weekends, I mean.
And we're open on weekends.
Yeah, weekends is pretty well
Because that's
staffed.
when you're gonna make more of your money.
Right.
If during the week, you're not making any money.
It's really weekday morning.
It's weekday morning, it's like you said, and like Saturday and Sunday, that's when we make your money, and then at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's open.
Tournaments too, right?
And tournaments, it's open.
Just Thursday, until Thursday,
Right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mark, when he's already talked about realizing when he's gonna open next year, like maybe more in the morning, you know, not so much where he's only opening at 2, you know, so.
Maybe replace the black tarps with something, you know,
No, because you.
clear or
No.
white.
No, because like you said again, now you're showing the product,
Right,
so you cover the product and you can't see the product. And you're covering your back there.
Really?
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The easiest way is like what Gail says, you have a separate room. you know,
Exactly.
Like at the Bethpage, or, you know, another public course that I know in New York. That you pay, you know, over there and
Yeah.
there's another pro shop, you know, where they sell merchandise, but,
Exactly.
you know.
I think we can't be compared to that one, don't even go there. I mean, as far as, as far as, listen, you have five dollars to dine.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a-
I'm not
It's
trying
definitely a
to compare
special-
numbers.
No, I mean, it's traffic.
Letting you know how they pay and, that's all, I mean, you know, you,
So-
you need to hear from Mark.
Yeah, that's why even having this discussion, it's kind of, it's brutal, because he's a key
Yeah,
player,
I mean,
and
What
I'm
kind of
sure he has
changes
some
is
ideas.
gonna happen? You know, I'm not sure if the town will ever take over concession. You know,
We-
that's
There's
a
too
business, I
many
don't think
You know,
it's gonna get into.
questions.
Exactly.
They need, you know, like something clear, like a fence or something to come
No,
down. they
maybe
need-
just another room,
Yeah.
just give us another room, you know,
You don't need those.
that's all.
You know, I'm saying something to close it, lock it.
And we don't need much room, we have a corner of the pro shop, and we've been operating for 2 years, you know, so.
So can, would you be willing to reach out to Kevin, or
It's really up to Mark, I mean,
Yeah.
he needs to be open to this
Yeah.
and open to suggestions.
well, I think he is open to it, when I had a conversation, he said he'd be willing to meet.
Yeah.
And talk about it.
So what were your conversation with him? What did you guys like, anything to move forward with, or?
I said, I'm going to recommend to you, and I'm gonna meet with Kevin Delaney, and I'm gonna recommend that the key players, which is you and him and someone from the town. And a representative from the golf committee.
serious open discussion.
I say we table this until he comes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said, the only way it can be done is you have to split your side from this side. That's the only way it can be done.
Not only way, we've
But-
been doing it for 2 years, but.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So split it, and that's it. You have your side, you have this side.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a discussion again, but without a representative from the town, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Go out that long. Expand it.
Well, you're missing 2 key players, representative
From the town and Mark. I agree, which is why I wasn't, my point of my discussion is to recommend the next step.
Yeah.
Not for us to solve the problem.
Right.
And maybe there isn't a problem. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that
Well,
we
no,
can provide a better customer experience.
Something that.
If we can.
Like it was coming today.
I think a sign would be a first step.
So does anyone else wanna, you know, give us feedback on their experiences here?
Yeah, I would say, yeah,
I think it's kind of a negative feeling when you walk in there.
The only time I've ever been there, it looked weird. I said, I mentioned, what is that? I don't even play golf.
Right. If the covers were clear, we could see the merchandise. You
But
know,
how can the people take them if they're covered?
It's not the point of taking it, it's from eyeing it. You're trying to eye it.
I knew you were gonna.
I guess this will be all business.
Yeah, right, we'll address it again next month.
Yeah.
it could be a different color. That
I-
covers. Blue or something. Okay,
Bunker update?
So, we had a meeting with, Doug Smith, an architect. He gave us a proposal for service. I gave it to the town wants me to get 2 more, so I'm in the process of getting 2.
You already have, you have another one in already though, that's on,
I just have 1.
you have just the one.
So, I'm trying to move things as fast as possible, but. We are at that point of the project. The first proposal was within our budget, and he worked at the renovation back in 2004.
They even
But
look at it?
that wasn't enough to bypass the bidding process.
And because of the dollar amount, or there was a dollar amount
Yeah,
associated
I mean,
with
the
that?
dollar amount's over a threshold, so in anything you're purchasing over that, you have to get 3 bids.
What's the threshold?
I think it's 15,000.
That's something like 15,000.
It used to be 5, but we.
It went to 10.
So in the meantime, is there a way to fill in that hole on the paint bunker?
The bear hole?
Right, yeah, whatever
Where
it is,
the
I don't know
animal
what it
is.
is.
Oh, yeah.
It's living in there, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, if one goes in there, I'm not going after it.
I don't know.
Neither.
I had seen balls in there though.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Maybe it'll pass away. Either later or afterwards.
Other than that, I mean,
We can't even get on
Yeah, we're-
company's
that's-
list
that's
for
where
next
we're
year
at,
without
yeah.
all this stuff, so.
The bunkers are in pretty good shape, to be honest with you. I gotta give you guys credit. The bunkers are in pretty good shape.
So there's still fabric coming up.
Yeah, there is, but you know, for what we've gone
Well,
through.
what we've gone through.
Turn them up and they do it.
So what is you're soliciting now for 2 more architects?
Yeah.
And when they expect it back?
I be this week, it'll be sometime this month, hopefully. So hopefully by our next meeting, I can tell you that I gave the 3 quotes in and we can move forward.
But it's not low bid, as I told you, because you're gonna have to. I mean,
Who
somebody,
makes the decision?
I'm not sure, but it doesn't have to be low bid.
Yeah.
It
You
doesn't have
like,
to
you
be-
don't know who makes it?
Hope me, I do, or,
Well,
but
I hope so.
there's a lot of things where I thought it was on me, but it's not.
because they're really not, it's not really what you want, or. How can I say this, the proposal, and this is an architect to oversee things and make changes. You know. They've never done it before, so why am I gonna go with you, something, right, I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
this is not something that,
yeah, it's.
I wanna be a doctor, let me operate on your brain for a while, right, see if it works, it doesn't work out, you know what I mean?
Well, is the interim town manager up and out?
Yeah, he was involved in this conversation.
Okay.
The proposal for service is a 3-part process, phase, by the way. So phase 1 is their blueprint on where they see the golf course going. Phase 2 would be them writing the RFP. And phase 3, which would be their visits while we're doing construction. So phase 1 and 2 is your initial payment. Phase 3 is within your
For the
project.
scope of the bond project.
Technically, right now, we're asking for around 20, but. So we'll move forward when we can.
All right. Full rates.
We're putting into effect, twilight at 2 p.m., basically from 2 to 6. That's twilight time.
Is it on weekends?
Yeah. So we're doing,
And it's fill me in, what does that mean?
twilight's basically you're playing, you're paying for a card and playing as much as you can from 9 holes and on. So if you go at 2 o'clock, you still finish, but if you go at 3, maybe you get 15 holes, 16 holes, but.
And what's that
And
rate?
what's that
It's
rate?
$35 for adults, 30 for seniors.
Is there,
With the card, with the card.
With the card.
okay,
We
so,
used to do a 12 to 3 summer special, so we don't do the 12 to 3 anymore, so we just moved twilight up.
is there a difference for resident, non-resident, or no?
Just senior, adult,
All right.
and, soon we're probably gonna be dealing with a lot of, frost, so our starts are gonna get later.
Yeah.
But, I just see if you all think we should do some fall rates, like a discounted fall rate before the 2 o'clock.
I'm not sure anybody's even doing that anymore, to be honest
Well,
with you.
right now, we're still pretty busy where
Yeah.
it's not really fall yet, yeah. So
Was today the first frost on it?
today was the first big one. We had one last week for about 20 minutes, but today was about like an hour 15 or so.
Yeah,
And then every time just gets moved?
It depends on how many tea times are affected. If 2 or 3 or 4 tea times are affected, maybe we move them down. But if you're having like 10 tea times, you know, you maybe you shotgun. So it depends on how long your frost is and when we can start playing.
Right, but if I have an 8:30 tea time and there's an hour delay,
Usually in the email, I'll explain like how it's affected that day. Like today we only had maybe 2 or 3 tea times, like, so I said anything prior to opening, all the golf shops are rescheduled.
wait a minute, so people who were scheduled to play didn't get to play?
No, they just make a new tea time.
But they had to call the golf shop, it just wasn't, what if they didn't open their email?
Well, if they come, we try to fit them in, you know, we don't say see you later.
Email.
Whoever has.
Whoever has the time,
so, I mean, cause my wife played today and she was like, all right, what's going on? So whoever has the tea time, whoever makes that tea time, Saul sends that email to, it's not a blanket email, right? So whoever owns those tea times that are gonna be affected, he will send them an email, right? They have that, and I don't know what the delay was, right? Cause I know with the Donna. So Donna sent it out to her, to your, all your people, right? So,
The first email at like 6:45 said, you know, we're gonna reevaluate at 8 AM.
8 or and then 9 o'clock or whatever. And so I don't know, I don't know what happened, but they teed off at 9:30.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's
but
like.
you won't, no one will lose a tea time,
No,
No.
no.
okay, I just
Oh,
wanted to
it's gonna be
understand that.
pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other words, you get pushed out later.
Correct.
But if you're scheduled to play at 8:30 and you don't go off until 9:30, you still get to go off at 9:30.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just
Somehow,
wanted to clarify.
Everything's
not
pushed back.
always that whole
Everything's
hour.
pushed back.
later.
Right.
Yeah, it could be a half hour, it could be 20,
Even if
I
it
get
was
it,
an hour today.
I get it, I
Yeah.
understand.
The email will say that if, you know, if your tea times are, you know, later on, you may be affected by such and such, just call the golf shop for details.
Right.
But
It
you
won't
won't
be,
lose your tea
it's an
time.
email alert, like,
Okay, but you won't lose the tea time.
you won't just.
No.
Okay,
No.
I wanted to understand that.
And what is the date you want to start with the ball rates?
We started the 2 p.m.
Twilight,
You
Twilight.
started.
Yeah.
Well, what, I mean, I don't know if did we do it last year? Did we change our rates at all last year? Our fall rates, I'm not sure anybody, truthfully, I'm not sure anybody did.
I think we just did the, you know, like a 9-hole special like we're doing now.
Then why don't we do something like that? That's the case. That's, you know, rather than take a cut all the way through, if we don't have to at this point, then. You know, I mean, the course is still in decent shape and they're cleaning all the leaves and the acorns. Acorns are like crazy, man. Oh my God.
I don't know what
So I
that
like
is.
it.
That's great.
I mean, I don't know, you know. But, yeah.
You're only gonna be able to play 2 holes. If you tee off that.
You're right.
So is this for 18?
But you play as much as you want, you know.
Oh, it does,
Yeah.
okay, it's just like
You
go
know,
out,
you tee off at 3, 4 o'clock,
okay.
I don't think you'll finish 18, so.
No,
All right, Timberland, September 25, you know. This year. Everybody kind of look through that, you can see what we have.
oh, no.
Yeah, there's this. And then there's Mark's, that's got his, and then
I don't,
there's a couple different things flying around here. What, here we have a year to date.
the one with the yellow.
Well, we got September, we have the yellow is just the expenditure, right? Then you have Mark's who has the revenue. And I'm like, okay, so it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm on the vote.
which one is that? Yeah, that's this one. That's this one for the fiscal year, the one with
That one,
the year to date, September, right?
Yeah.
Saying that we lost $65,000 so far in this fiscal year. Right? It's,
Okay, got it, thank you, okay.
that's what you have, all right, so we can go through a couple different. I mean, and we're looking through it, it's like, yeah, all right, so income's up, rounds are up and then. Actually, rounds are down, I take that back, rounds are down. Income is up, but your expenses are up also, right? This is for the fiscal year, right? And so I'm not really concerned, truthfully, from my perspective, I'm not too concerned about this because we held the line on income on the rates this past year, correct? We held the line on that. And we knew this was gonna happen and so. The funny thing is that the rates will come into effect January first or February first, and they'll be for the entire season. Right, so even though it affects fiscal year 26 budget, it'll be in play for 25, correct? So we all know it's like a shell game. Right, so the rates are going up, even though the budget that they're affecting doesn't come into effect July 1st.
Correct.
I'm thinking King needs to figure that one out, right? So that's why I also issued this thing for the season, which kind of, to me, makes more real, you know, and it's great that we have this, don't get me wrong, it's great that we have this, because we do need this, right?
Absolutely.
But you also have one that has one for the season, and the golf season is a calendar year, right? Goes from February to, or January to December, whatever you can get in, blah, 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 and it is, and so I'll just keep updating this month by month, as we get there, and the revenue that I pulled off of Mark's kind of ties into basically the revenue that we have up here. So in other words, it's slight differences here and there, and that's fine. But looking at this, it's like, you know, we made a profit, right? If you look at this for the season, you made a profit 100, basically, there was two that went out. Well, actually one that went $131,000 so far. Is that the one you guys have? Yeah, so that's where we stand now, right? As of September. 131,167 is what we're looking at. And that's fine, and then we'll just, you know, so October, you know, when we cover our costs in October, I have no idea, you know, but you'll see come November, December, in January and February, you're losing money left and right because there's no revenue coming through the door. But this gives you an idea of where we stand as far as the season goes, all right? So look, it makes more sense to you as a financial guy also, right? The season, right? It's a season, not a fiscal year. So lapsing 2 fiscal years. So that's something I'll do this every month. So like keep remembering. And we'll go from there. Any questions on that one? All right.
So on the year-to-date September one that we get from, I guess, the town there, is that the year-to-date with the fertilizer? That because we pay up front for the year pretty much for all the fertilizer? Because we budgeted 150 and we've already spent 146. Is that because you get a better rate, right? We get paid up front
Usually we pay in July.
Yeah. July.
for the whole year.
For the year.
Yeah,
We order it early
yeah.
in the year, but pay
I
in July.
Did everybody get these? Does everybody get these?
Yeah.
Because you know, why didn't you get it?
I don't know.
So it came out, was that one?
Well, no, there was one that said this morning, but the one that had the agenda and everything else on it.
Well, this was sent quite a while ago.
Yeah,
this
yeah, but everybody else got that. I don't know why you got it.
I got it. I'm good.
You check your email at home?
I got it.
And it didn't come through there either?
See my email. Goes home too.
Okay, so you check, I mean, sometimes you run out of space.
Sure, get your stuff.
If you run out of space, sometimes it doesn't go through. I don't understand. Okay.
Did it go to junk drawer? No. Didn't get it?
You didn't pay the tax.
Oh, the stop send it over?
I said, no, Saul sent it to me and then, I sent it there and, yeah, and then,
Never get stuff.
No,
No, he didn't
I sent it to them. And
yeah,
he
we sent it out,
to you.
and I sent it to everybody, right? But everybody here at the table got it, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, except for you.
Yep.
It's the same email. I don't know what to tell you.
You don't have distribution.
No, it's the same email. If you've got one part of the email, you've got the whole email. I just don't know why it didn't come through. Everybody's got every part,
Yeah, this
you've
one
got
was
both
sent-
parts. If you have that, you've got the second part.
Yeah,
So it's
well,
not
this
on
was
the
sent
agenda.
out a while ago.
Oh, yeah, with the agenda and everything, yeah, that was sent out.
No, the agenda was sent out just this week.
That's correct.
This was sent out, I think,
No, they were sent at the same time. If this is September, it was sent at the same time, it was in the packet.
was it?
Yeah, it's all in the packet. So if everybody's received the packet, correct?
I did.
I got mine.
Packet, but I don't think the packet had the agenda.
No, it's a separate so there's two things, there's the packet and the agenda, but it's in the same email, correct? Yes,
I think so, I mean, it's a piece of it.
yes.
I
I don't
have
know
a
it.
question about this.
No, it's not going, that was getting today, that was today.
No, no, that didn't come.
All
they're having a discussion.
Is this one you generated?
That's the one I
You gotta
gave
put it in the
this morning
donation.
from earlier meeting.
Okay,
That's FY 24.
But it's not a
This came
forecast, it's an
October
actual.
7th.
So can we?
Up here, they call it.
Sure.
I would say it's preliminary, that's why I asked you, that's why I asked the same question, I was
Well,
like,
it
wait.
says forecast.
Oh, there was another one that said preliminary, I was like, wait, you can't have forecasts, yeah.
So it's an actual.
That's actual.
And then the minuses, is that truly a loss?
No, miles there are.
Well, pluses,
Yeah.
right, okay. Why does it do it like that with minus?
Yeah,
It's
That's
odd.
that's how the town does it.
Yeah, like the revenues are all minus and the expenditures are all pluses.
Right.
Yeah, that never makes sense.
Because they're gonna say revenue's a negative number, I mean, this is their lottery.
All right, as long as
That's my
I.
wife. She's happy.
So for
I-
fiscal
I-
year
we'll still get some there.
24, we made
What's
a,
going on?
Guys,
so for fiscal year 24, we made 125.
sorry?
And we come to 70.
Right, that's right, we kept 70.
Yeah.
That's before.
That's correct.
And 55K went back to the town.
Yes.
You're welcome, town. Bill.
I know, right? And they're gonna place the stones over the pumpkin town.
I have a question about the credit card fees that we pay. Is the restaurant included in those credit card fees?
That's separate.
No, that's separate, okay.
Now, there was something that did come out, you know, I'm not gonna bring this up anymore, this is the last time I bring that one up, credit card, fee, but it did say separately, you know.
Finish your sentence.
Was there a question or?
Yeah, well, separately said, you have a cash price and you have the other price, so you have cash price is a reduced price and here's your other price, that's all, don't call it a credit card price.
So do we want to do that with our?
No, we're not.
So
Part of
we're not
the
bringing it up.
Okay.
He brought it up. Credit card
Moving on.
fees. Moving forward.
Are we past, we done?
Any other questions on the P and L? No, go ahead, open discussion.
How was the pilot for program that started in October going? Where people-
Oh, good.
Good.
A lot of folks are making them online
So we see them.
and, you know, when they call and, you know, we explain to them, you know, they're okay.
Yeah, you don't have all those phone calls.
It's, we won't really, it's helping now, but you won't really feel the help when, you know, until the next season, you know, when it's.
Yeah. But it's still be useful.
That was, the goal is to get some more folks used to it by next year.
Do we still have an issue with the people not showing up? No shows?
Yeah,
There's always gonna be until we start charging her.
Especially
We
with, the-
still keep an eye on it.
especially with the frost delay, people are gonna say, you know.
Well, that, yes, but you know,
that's
more for like, you know, peak times.
So that's an interesting point that you brought up. So there's a frost delay, right? And I had a 9 or 10 o'clock tea time and all of a sudden it's 11:30. It's like, wait a minute, I can't do that. So what happens now?
I mean, that's understandable.
Okay, all right, just hold it. Okay, just being sure.
I mean, we delay you, so you can't play, that sounds like
That's
an abnormal
that's- yeah.
situation.
Okay.
Correct. What was it? Did anybody ever quantify the number of no-shows? I mean, is it 2 a day? Is it?
We don't have like, I can look into it, that's why we mark them as no-shows, so at the end of the, you know, whatever period, we can
So in
see
a
how
month,
many
you-
we do.
Oh, so in the month, you could probably let us know at the end of the month or?
Yeah.
I'd be just curious, are we talking about 10 a month or are we talking about 100 a month? You
Well,
know,
I'll start looking into it, but
I'd just be curious.
it's definitely,
That would give us
in
more.
the weekdays, it happens quite a lot more than the weekends.
You had your frequent flyers, right? I mean, let's just call it, frequent flyers, you know, and so identify who they are and just deal with them directly. I'm, you know,
And maybe another awareness that the people that do make the tea time, they have an option of canceling that tea time and
Yeah.
opening it up again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they realize that.
What do you
On
mean?
the bottom of
You
the.
can edit it or
Yeah, you
whatever,
can
yeah.
go in there and edit it and cancel it if you know you're not gonna make it.
It's really, I mean, a courtesy call, you know, I didn't make my doctor's appointment, they charged me like $55.
Oh, yeah.
You're right,
Yeah.
24 hours ahead of
Y'all
time,
are
right?
crazy, but here's your money, right? Like,
If
what
you
am I
will,
gonna do? So,
And
I'm
maybe
gonna make my next appointment.
going forward, maybe we need to massage that
Well,
system a little bit, because what if I gotta force them, and I know two guys are not gonna show up? I can edit and say, hey, I got 2 openings in for the tea time.
yeah, I mean, there's, if you're foursome and you bring 3, I'm not gonna chop your hand off.
Yeah.
Because you only brought 3, if you brought 2 and you didn't tell us and it was prime time, maybe, but there's. The first thing is to let everyone know of our policy first thing next year, and we go from there, it's like all this. We'll have data to support it, we've been checking on it for a while now, this season.
I mean, do you think you've lost out on a significant amount of money to this thing or at all, or
I'm not saying like $100,000, but it's,
10 grand?
yeah, I mean, it's definitely when we're this busy and you need to prioritize your T sheets or, you know, maximize your T sheets. The only way to maximize it is to, you know, pick on these little things like, oh, they didn't show up with 2 here, you know, 3 there. You know, because literally every tea time's taken,
It's really,
literally in the summer, but then
yeah,
you'll have these 3 no-shows that, you know, yeah, we probably could have filled it. You know? That's, the tea time is like $200, $240 if you're non-resident, so, and even more on the weekends, so.
But if people, like, if the day of playing, they can't make it, they call.
Now, you
That's
tell
okay.
me you have family issues, that's
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
good,
what do
like,
you do?
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't get
I
involved
always
with that
call
stuff,
the
you know,
ladies.
yeah. The one that, you know, you book a foursome at 10 AM on a Wednesday, you don't call, nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's
Forget it.
a no-show.
Yeah, I have a question about, the net. Between the driving range and the 18th hole, is there any progress on that, or?
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, I started looking at the trees, I thought we were gonna do trees, not nets.
That's too high, too much, right?
I thought there was gonna be a slot, a net on the left side.
Yeah, so-
And then, so it doesn't go down where the trees were, because still, people, I still can understand how they do that, but. It goes through down onto the 19th green and the bunker in there. Right, and it's, right, and the cars are getting hit too over there, if someone's going in. I still can understand that one.
I've never got notice of cars getting hit.
Then,
I'm sure I would if.
or if there's balls by cars, I know the yellow balls, those things.
I can see it coming from the 18th fairway.
Not the fairway's a fairway, I get, but the green and the, no, the 18th green?
What?
No, I've seen a ball come down there, not too often, but I have
Oh,
seen
yeah,
one.
I can see it, yeah, it's done real good, bad
Like
duck.
where you were parked the park for the 18th green.
Yeah, done, yeah,
Yeah, that might have trapped.
but you're gonna put, you, arborvitae, is that what you're looking at, to fill that in with?
In our last, probably, or maybe 2 meetings ago. Thought that we all agreed that nettings were quite expensive, so we were gonna do trees there.
Okay, sorry, just as long as they block the walls, man, that's all that matters.
And there's. Someone said it here, it's like, there's also some sort of risk you take when you come to a golf course. You know, when you're when golf balls are going, you're susceptible to getting hit. You know, sometimes you can't control that
That's on the course.
on property.
I'm sure that someone would have a field day with that one, with the range for them.
Well, my car got hit from, number 9, I was over the side where the driving range was, my car got hit there. I saw the guy that did it, I walked up to him and I told him, he did this, he did that. He took care of the damage. Okay, but.
From the range?
From number 9.
From number 9.
On number 9.
From number 9. So like you said, when you,
Well, yeah,
when you walk out of that golf course, you're taking a chance.
you put it,
So anybody, you can get hit out there, anything.
yeah, but if you're a golfer, and you hit a car,
Right.
that's on you.
Yeah, that is.
It
You know,
is. And then, but happened, the guy took care of it. It happened to Brandon. The guy said he was gonna take care of it. The guy left and never took care of it. Never took care of it.
So, but when the car gets hit, that's on them, but I'm saying if you're on the course, even a hole by hole, there's liabilities there. Are you gonna put a netting in every hole?
No. So at the range, that's to me, that's a different
Only
situation.
because of the amount of people that use it.
The proximity and whatnot, yeah.
I would never park there, but that's.
Yeah, I would never park there either, man. Somebody flies that green on 18,
Yeah.
and I know it's happened in our league,
I
so.
would never park.
Gino Giancarlo still
I never see him.
employed at the Timberland?
Please aren't that spot.
Okay. Open discussion, we have donations on the down here, so we have a donation request from the Endless Summer. For the YMCA.
So I know we only usually do in town organizations and events, but they have sounds like they have a store here in town and
Well, it's not a store,
or.
but
I'm
they
sorry.
do have a facility here.
Facility here, yeah.
Across from
Oh,
the
the
air.
why, yeah, we share.
No, I didn't mean store, I'm
In
sorry.
our, in
I
our,
have a property.
our high school uses the.
This is a red carpet event for money to go to their fees, so I would say no.
That's why I bring it up.
I said this is a red carpet event that's raised money to pay their fees, I would say no.
This is the YMCA fee, this is the YMCA, and,
Except if you have to notify, they have to know by September.
Yeah.
During the warning.
No, it's the we were given they when they gave it to us, it was already done. But they're still doing, auctions.
So how, where are the auctions not to be at the event?
The event's done.
Right, so
Yeah.
I'm not understanding what,
So when is the auction?
I think they have like a holiday party or something. Yeah.
and this benefits the YMCA, correct, itself, the YMCA itself? Right, of which there's a business in town that provides daycare and after school care to the kids,
oh,
right? And that's what they do? Right,
In the high school.
so it's happening on the 25th, I read that wrong.
The Mary-
Happening.
So
the pool.
First line, so.
Yeah, October, I read so they're extending the deadline, I guess.
It says benefits of Berlin section of the YMCA as well, right?
Well, the YMCA provides childcare to the town of Berlin, to the residents of the town of Berlin. My kids were part of that way back in the day, right? And that's, I'm kind of dating myself on that.
So if the town is
And they-
involved, if the
And
town,
the town's involved in that,
then
so.
we should not, I mean, that's what I would look at, if they doing something for the county. I mean,
So that's your nexus into the town, right? They're providing daycare, they're providing daycare and after school care functions to town, residents of the town.
So what do they want? What do you think?
I think they charge for that service, so just adding their own charge.
Yeah.
They're more like a business. than like a town fund.
I'll make a motion to approve the donation for a foursome of we do during the week.
All right, we'll make a motion to accept this. Right?
Just a motion.
Just, no, you have a motion to accept this, so Gail makes a motion to accept this, second it? Second, okay, so now, our discussion, any discussion that anybody has on this thing, so, discussing it.
So it's gonna be 4 rounds of golf with the cart.
Yeah, the normal packet, whatever it is,
Day that we, yeah.
correct. Is there a nexus into the town? The answer is yes, there is a nexus into the town.
Yeah.
So they're here. So does anybody have questions on what they do?
I'm gonna make a motion to accept it.
Make it.
I don't
So-
know. like it's good.
Yeah,
No,
so there's no, to accept that, no. Make the motion to approve the force of, I think that's what she's saying.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think-
yeah, accept it, yes.
So-
yeah, and now we vote yea or nay.
Yes, correct.
I'm sorry, I thought my motion was.
And we have to vote to accept this thing into it, but just the same words that we've been going, so. Nancy's gonna make a motion to approve a force with carts. Somebody second that? Second, Lucas, okay. All in favor? Aye. All against? Nay. So, everybody's in favor except for Lucas, the one negative, okay? Very good. Motion passes. Anything else for open discussion?
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, it's coming soon.
I would say, place in next November,
November,
I'll bring the first draft.
okay,
Okay.
good. All right, can we also, while we're doing that, and, I'm probably gonna be killed for saying this thing, but, we'll look at the variations of the rounds per, the cost per round. By,
Cost?
some of the season pass holders, the cost per round, is it $1.15, is it $2 for the number of rounds? I mean, everything's open for discussion at this point,
Why are you looking for this?
Well, because, number one, is it high enough? Should we still keep it going with the resident passes, non-resident passes? Things of that, I mean, it's just something
But
that,
how many people
So-
play that much that,
I don't know, that's what I'm trying to find
So
out.
what you saying, taking the resident rate out?
Well, I'm just looking to see what the cost per round is, and if it's.
Take all the fees associated with the resident passes, like how many rounds the place
You
divided.
think, how much does it cost
How much?
the
That's
player?
The player, correct.
Not the cost
That's
of the
not
golf
There's no
course?
cost to the golf course.
No, because it doesn't
That's
matter.
correct.
So in other words, I have a season pass, but if I don't play that much,
right,
it may have cost me $50 a round.
exactly.
That's
Somebody else who plays a lot, it may cost them $5.
Correct.
You want to know what the number is.
I'm trying to figure out.
Are
what
you
the
looking
number
for the average? Or are you
Well, I
looking for what?
But how many people,
how many,
So you should have a count of how many people are on it.
yeah,
I don't know, we don't know, we don't
No, if you
know,
have
are we making
55
money now?
100 people,
Well, when you season passes, we don't have tons and tons of season passes,
No, we don't.
we don't,
No, we don't.
no,
No.
no. We really do not, not as many to think,
for
but.
9 or for, eight?
Well. because
I guess you're looking for information.
I'm just looking for the information right now to make a decision on when we start looking at the rates, that's all.
Just, with your respective selves here, do you think you've gotten good value with yours?
By all means.
Yeah,
By all means.
leave it alone.
yes. I have always.
Because Meriden took out their season rate.
Correct.
And we don't wanna do that because it will hurt some people in
I
town.
don't think we'll ever take it out.
Right,
He's just seeing if we're gonna increase it or not.
yeah, oh,
Right.
We're not taking anything out.
because right now, our season pass.
We
It
hold
all
on,
depends, you got, what, 3 or 4 different.
No, I'm saying like for your respective categories, right, which I think here would be resident, senior.
Right, exactly,
Limited,
right.
right, so what is that? $950.
Yeah, it's under 1,000.
it's under 1,000 for a season,
That's for seniors.
and that's a steal, I mean, it's a
And
steal,
if you,
let's
if you
call it what
get
it is,
50
it's a
rounds
steal.
in, right?
Depends how much you play.
You-
But that's on,
Yeah,
no, that's
that's
not
on,
good. That's right.
Yeah.
9 holes, you have to play
You probably put
35
at least
times.
50,
35 times in
right?
order to.
So what's 1,000 divided by 50?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I have to give you some food for thought though, but setting up the rates.
Yes.
I, a couple of people mentioned this, I think it's a really good idea that anybody that's 95 or over plays for nothing.
You. Let's.
And we
Didn't we have a
actually
super
have,
senior or something like that?
we have 90 that, but I think that
95.
if you're 95 and still playing and you're 98 years old, yes.
I think you should be 75.
90 one of the flights in the senior match.
We don't talk about anything that's on the agenda, so if you
Oh,
want to be
no,
on the
I
agenda.
just thought I would like to,
Just
Oh,
let us
okay.
know, we'll put it on the next meeting.
all right, I will, I'll let you know.
Which, you talk about passes, I'm looking at March sheet, it's $197,000 for pass.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole, that's
About
the most
200
of the
people.
year though.
It's
Most people
okay.
got their money.
Divide the past up front.
Well, we would think that some non-residents like or $1,400, so.
And it's still,
So
even
in
it's still a
overall,
deal.
it's 200.
Yeah, it is a deal.
Yeah, it's still a deal.
Yeah.
So,
It's about 25%.
Unless you like my husband, who bought a pass 1 year and never played.
the only,
Comes at a good time.
The only reason I'm bringing this,
Place out.
the only reason I'm bringing this up is.
I said, well, you just made a donation.
That's all,
Exactly.
right?
We,
Nobody wants to see the rates rise.
right,
But we held the line last year, we didn't really,
Yeah.
we really didn't do a lot of, nothing got done, right? So now you're gonna start talking about, the buggers are gonna happen, but that's, the other stuff's gonna happen in the spring. No, no. They may start something in the spring, but then you're gonna have to start working on the trees, right?
there's something that's gonna happen, we have CIP money in never gonna use.
Yes,
For what?
so, I mean, the minute you start doing that, people will, they'll start seeing the work getting done. And that way, it's easier to fathom the rate increases that they're gonna have, and we did hold the line. I mean, people gotta forget that, you held the line for a year, and that's not easy to do, because with all the price increases that we had.
Yeah.
Gas, insurance,
Everything.
fertilizer, everything went up. So we can tell the electric company, I'm not, you can't raise your rates on me, it doesn't work that way, right? It just doesn't, so,
Business.
no, it is a business, right? It is, so.
Thank goodness they're getting the railroad funding.
That is all right.
Oh, yes.
Okay, account,
Finally.
anything else, is there anything else wrong with discussion? No, okay, account balances. So you have 32,000 sitting in there right now, open?
You can even call it, like, is that 9K, most of that is for an engineer, that's just sitting.
Well,
75 of that 9K is for,
that's a bridge engineer, right?
yeah.
So at what point, I didn't read your thing, at what point are you gonna start working on the trees on 2 and,
Right now, my main priority is this architect.
yeah,
Once we could figure that out, I could actually get that same architect maybe to look at me too.
I wouldn't tie them in together because.
But it's not gonna be tied in together, because number 2 would be more this fall, the bunker is not gonna happen until probably next fall.
I put out an email to that effect, on what you're doing to everybody, go blast, because we told them it was gonna be starting this fall and nothing's happening, you know what I mean? On the bunker.
Yeah, next to you, November 1.
Yeah, I mean, the more communication I think we have with people, the better off we're gonna be.
Tell him that you're getting,
Here's
proposals
yeah,
from
here's what's
architects.
going on, we got one and, the town has to go back for 2 more and here's where we're at, right? This is what we're trying to do. In the meantime, that, phase 1 for the whole 2, then carpet, so you're gonna move the car path on 5? You're gonna move it around to the other side now? And block off that whole area? That'd be nice, I
That's
thought,
a good idea.
that'd be nice, okay? Very good. And the short, what's the short game area that you're looking at? Is that the old tennis courts? Okay. All right. We have,
What's the status on the bridge, the central Connecticut?
Right now, I'm just concentrating on the bunkers, the bridges, I haven't looked at.
No, not the bridges, but the bridge that was built, the walking bridge that Central built.
It's still in, around the main shed.
Then that was supposed to be plug and play, correct? I'm 99% sure, I'll go back and look at the minutes, the thing, it was plug and play, that was just a pop the old one off, pop the new one on. Everything was, the blocks were supposed to stay. And that one should have been over and done with, and everybody went to the fault to do that, right? I mean, that's,
I thought we were on board with the.
I thought so too, and I don't
Install it.
understand what's going on, I just don't.
So we don't have a date for installation yet?
Is the town,
I thought Mr.
Backtracking
Williams
on this?
was gonna help us.
I thought so too, and is town backtracking on that now? I mean, I don't know what's going on, so seriously, I just don't understand.
That we have to pay for it. If you, I don't know where it was said that we're not going to, like, that the town was gonna pay for it.
But before it was designed, you had a conversation with the town about installation?
No, the school did.
School had a conversation with the town about
My
installation.
conversation was that we were gonna get a donated bridge.
Right.
And how was it gonna get installed?
That was not my conversation.
But you're the director of law.
Like I said, when I asked for it to be, for help, we didn't receive help.
Help from the town? Because the town installed the one on 17.
The town engineer is saying the concrete needs to be looked at, so it's not a plug and play. So, you know, that's where we are.
I wouldn't even approve that we do this if it was a plug and play. I mean, it just didn't make sense. So why build it if you can't put it in?
You're not, it's just there, I mean, what,
I mean, winter's gonna come, the plow, I mean, Gary, I'll put money on it right now that a plow will hit that thing.
great.
I mean, right, I mean, no, I mean, it's inevitable, right?
Thanks for the comment.
Well, hopefully, I mean, maybe it can get installed.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that. Nothing comes easy when you have to do something with this house.
Mhm.
There's nothing plug and play, so I don't know where you.
How did we
plug
get
and
one on
play.
17 then?
Huh?
Yeah, how did you get that?
How did we get
I wasn't
that?
here.
I don't know.
Just now here for
That was
that?
with John put that.
So that was.
By itself?
No,
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 John
no, they got-
put
The
it,
town
this
came
guy
over.
The
They
town
put that
came
up,
over.
they put that one. They
It's
put
the town
that,
engineer now, I'd go over and say, how'd you do 17?
right,
Was John Cook the town engineer? Who was John Cook?
John Zuck.
Oh,
John
Simon
Zuck.
Zuck.
It went in under his
Right.
purview back then by the town. With, I think Jerry's, you could talk to Jerry, maybe
Yeah, I-
Jerry's team helped them. Jerry would have the history on that. Maybe he
No,
could.
Jerry told me highway did it, and highway hasn't reached that.
Well, I mean, you gotta keep pestering them and then find out what, I mean, that's all there is.
because it is part of the town. So I don't know why the highway department can't come in and do it. It's part of the town. You know?
And we're doing a disservice to Central too, I mean, they built a bridge for us, and now we're just sitting there, like, you know,
Well,
next guy,
well, we're not using it, so the other thing, the equipment, that piece of equipment, he got.
I don't know what piece of equipment
The
you're
one I was
asking
talking
about.
about with the
town
the
council.
big board,
They did.
For $74,000.
yeah.
So we have to have
Yeah,
to
we
be.
did.
I don't know, what, $170,000 more?
No, it's 70,000, the Pentrix mower.
74,000.
Yeah.
Used.
So there's a used mower that they bought.
Yeah, that was, it was multifunctional, right? It did numerous
Yeah,
things, yeah. And has that been purchased, yeah?
It was approved last night,
Oh, approved, okay.
or like to.
To purchase.
Purchase.
Approved to purchase last night. Good.
Or Tuesday.
Yeah, this one, that's like, good.
Did volunteer people go during this past month?
Yes, we had our second
Oh, a second one.
volunteer
Oh,
meeting,
good.
and you know, they did a lot more, they did more work in front of the clubhouse. We cleaned some benches out in the golf course,
Good.
pulled some weeds,
That's working out well.
so. It's the same three folks,
Do
kudos to
they
them.
need any more volunteers though?
You have to ask Mr. Richards.
Mr. Richards?
Yeah,
Do
we
they
had a
meet
couple
more?
of times.
Or,
Oh, we can always.
Yeah, maybe you could send, I didn't, I have.
I mean, we could,
I wasn't aware of the dates.
yeah, let
They
me
come out
know
here
the
this
dates.
way.
Yeah,
and
we
then-
were keeping it,
Oh,
we were
purposely?
just
Okay.
starting to get.
So you
get
just
going.
wanna just kind
A
of,
soft opening, as they say.
yeah. Yes,
Good.
okay, but when you want
So-
more people, I can let the ladies know, I'm sure some of them would be happy to
Okay.
volunteer. Their free days.
Golf course report? Yeah,
we're gonna do that.
we are. And then, if that's all set, then the golf pro report, anybody got questions on the March report? But he's not even here, so it kind of tough. All right, well, with that, it's 7:15, does anybody else have anything else to go to the order? At 7:15, can I have a motion to adjourn? Jim Green? Yeah. Commissioner LaBrie, yeah. We are adjourned, 7:15.
Great.
Record time.